So last night you did this charity show, and you guys, are pretty much one of the biggest bands in the world. And you come to Toronto to a 900 cap room, and it was unbelievable. What makes you guys do the things that you do? These creative, different things that you guys do.
Well, we have a pretty amazing team, Metallica family, that is their quest is to come up with unique and kind of out of the box ideas. And I think the food bank is obviously a no-brainer, really. We did that on the Death Magnetic tour. Gosh, there's so much leftover catering and food. Let's do something here. And doing local stuff. I think doing local stuff really makes us feel a part of the family of, Toronto and giving. And we love doing that everywhere we go. So.
Have you had any time to visit Toronto over the years after coming here? Have you had any time to, I know it's in and out as a band. Have you been able to experience the city that much?
Not so much this time. I mean, we have before. We have some friends. I mean, there was a friend of ours that showed up at the show yesterday that, he's an old biker buddy. And he's like, we've been friends since 1984. It's pretty unbelievable to have someone, we've got a few friends like that in different towns, and they show up, and it's a good feeling to know you got a friend in a certain town.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Moth into Flame, if we can talk about the album now, which is fantastic. Moth into Flame, one of my favorite songs, and I was just reading about the inspiration, and you mentioned Amy Winehouse. Can you tell us the story?
Yeah, well, just watching that movie was extremely saddening, and how her life went from just such a lively, joyous person to someone who was just trying to escape the reality of where she was. And it really hit me in the one part of the movie where she was lost in her mind, it seemed. And she was just leaving her flat in England to go somewhere, and the press were just like hanging out in front of her place all the time, and just snapping these pictures of her. Hey Amy, how's it going? How's this? And talking to her like they know her, and they just don't notice how. I mean, they wouldn't say, "Gosh, you look skinny. You look unhealthy," or something. There was a total connection there with reality. And just noticing the fame part, and how that can really be a drug for some people, and it certainly has been for us in our career. But just growing up with it, and how do you deal with fame? What do you do with that? How does it affect you? And at what point do you realize that this might not be as healthy as I think it is for me?
How do you stay grounded? How do you do it?
Well, I've got a wife that kicks my first of all, kids that tell it like it is, that to me is love right there. When your kids, Dad, you're being a jerk, I love that. That's what helps me a lot. Family certainly does that. I think the guys in the band too, we all keep each other in check. Like, dude, is that limo a little too long? Come on. I mean, just goofy things like that. We try and keep each other real. So I think not surrounding ourselves with yes men too, which can really just totally distort your reality.
Are you ever able to, like James just walking into the grocery store, or just going to go shopping for the holidays, are you ever able to do that?
Oh, yeah. Well, when I don't have my butler doing that, sure. Oh gosh, where we live, no one cares. It's like, oh, it's that dude again. Or some people just don't even know, which is I love that. And I don't know. I think it just really depends on where you are. If you're on tour somewhere and people are expecting you to be there, and there's a different feel. But living at home, I think they get over it. They get over the like, ooh, you're the guy, and then they realize, oh, you're just another dork,
You are, the rumor is, and you can tell me if I'm right or wrong, or maybe not, The rumor is you are going to tour now for the next 2 years. Please tell me that's true.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, yeah, making a record and then wanting to go play it live makes a lot of sense.
Now, do you bring your family with you? How does that work? 2 years is a very long time.
Sure, yeah. School still gets in the way of some fun for them, but wherever there's a super unique show or a learning opportunity or there's just time off, they'll be there. And I love having them out there, which is very opposite of what it used to be, you know. But I tell you, watching the kids enjoy the different cultures, and they've seen a lot of stuff. It's really, really cool. Yeah, we'll be going to China, I think, in January, and we told the school, hey, we're yanking the kids, you know. They're going off to China, and they said, oh yeah, for sure, do it.
Yeah, great learning experience, right?
Better than sitting in the classroom.
For sure. Now, on tour, we can assume that our assumption is that you're going to be playing lots of festivals. And for a lot of the rock and roll bands that aren't quite as big as you, this is an amazing opportunity because coming from the music side, and I find it very hard to find one of those great rock and roll bands to headline. And I think a lot of the middle, I don't want to say middle, but the not so big rock and roll bands are like, Metallica is back. And now we are going to be able to play to a sold out show at a festival. And they're super excited. So thank you for that. And also, what is the largest crowd that you've ever played in front of?
My gosh. Well, I tell you, we're just grateful to still be relevant after 35 years. You know, touring for 2 years at 53. We'll find out what it's like, you know, and to address the festival thing, sure, we love playing festivals and grabbing new fans or turning people on to stuff that, because I think live we're pretty good, and you might not like all the songs or the music or something, but when you see us live, there's an energy, it's undeniable. And it's not just us, it's the whole atmosphere. And you know, we bring on more bands for sure. We love to support bands that are trying to get out there and get to the next level. So whoever we can turn onto our fans, that's great. And as far as the biggest crowd, gosh.
Because someone told me a number. I just can't imagine that this number would be true.
It's bigger than last night?
Oh, it's just a little bit bigger than last night. Someone told me 1.3 million. Metallica.
Oh, really?
Yeah. In Russia.
Yeah, that's where I was going. You know, when the Iron Curtain fell, or whatever you want to call it, and when we went in there to play, it was free at an airfield somewhere, and it was free, so you can't really count. I mean, I lost count at 832,000. But as far as the eye can see, there was people going crazy and having fun. Yeah.
Do you, at that point, just, you know, do the same old, I'm going to look at one person and picture them naked? Or do you decide to, you know, go out and, I'm going to sing to 1.3 million right now?
Gosh. You know, we're on a constant quest to get everyone closer. You know, there's something about that. I mean, like last night, when you can see faces, you can watch people enjoy the concert or music. It's super inspiring. Yeah. So, but yeah, when you have a sea of people, there's only so many I can see. It depends on the lighting. But yeah, I need energy too. So when I feel like I'm out, I'll go to certain people that I know are really full of energy and kind of suck that off of them a little bit. So that's what I'm doing. I'm looking for people who are big energy sources.
You know, 75 Nations had the album in the top 3 at least. I think they said that it was like 60 in the top 1 when at day of release. Were you nervous about that, or did you just know, we're Metallica, this is going to happen, which I think all of us knew?
It's a huge surprise. It really is, because for us, this is just the next record, and for some reason the timing is right. People are needing or wanting this, and I guess song-wise, people are identifying with its like a older school feel, you know, more guitar harmonies, things like that, and some of the stuff that I knew was missing from our music. So still a big surprise. I mean, when your record people send you an email saying, hey, you're #1 in all these countries, like, what?
Yeah.
Does that mean we're going to go play Uganda? What? The tour is going to get longer.
Oh no, not 2 years, 3 years.
Yeah.
And finally, I know they probably want to stop me now. Last night, tickets were going for $6,000 online. But the good news is I don't think it worked out the way the scalpers wanted it to work out. I'm not sure. They had a fake site up there saying, hey, come get Metallica tickets. But I don't think that transaction was able to happen because it was the way the venue did it was fantastic.
Great.
We had to give our ID and we went in. Did you hear anything about that on your side? Or?
Yeah. I was aware that alert coming up saying that fake tickets going for this much, and a lot of that's out of our control. We can do what we can to hologram or whatever. Only get 2 or something like that. We can do our best with that, but once they're out of our hands, you can't do much. So what I would say is for the fan who gets ripped on all of this, if you buy a fake ticket and you show up and, hopefully you don't get pissed at us because that's not our thing.
Of course.
But beware. Just beware. When you're buying a ticket, make sure that it's a reliable source or it's real. Obviously go through the Metallica fan club first. But you just beware because there are people out there they don't care about you, and you care about us, we care about you, so to do your homework.
James, thank you so much. It was such an honor to sit here with you.
Thanks.
Great, it was great.
Appreciate
Thank you.
Thanks, Josie.
Thanks.